Welcome back, students. Now we will continue with the water pollution topic. Yes, we all know that water is a very important source available to us for survival of life, right? What are the three major sources of water, children? The three major sources of water are surface water obtained from rivers, streams, springs and lakes. Then it's groundwater and water from seas and oceans. So what do we go ahead and understand by pollution, water pollution? Water pollution is the contamination of water with unwanted and harmful substances. So what can be the different sources of water pollution? The different sources of water pollution can be industrial waste, discharge of waste like plastic, paint, drugs, paper, textile dyes into the water body directly would lead to pollution of water. Then we have synthetic detergents. They are released from houses and various industries. Apart from synthetic detergents, agricultural runoffs, which includes the pesticides and fertilizers into the water bodies, also result in water pollution. And the last source of water pollution that we would like to discuss is oil leakage. The leakage of the oil during drilling and shipping operations pollute the water as they leave a layer of oil on its surface. So these are actually different sources of water pollution. And what kind of effect these sources leave on us by polluting water, we will go ahead and study it next. The first effect called as eutrophication. Children, when a water body gets polluted with fertilizers, the weeds, which are actually the unwanted plant present in the water, they grow because of the fertilizers that they have received. This fast growth of aquatic plants makes the water body extremely deficient in dissolved oxygen and affects the aquatic life badly. This process is called as eutrophication. So water pollution is a big threat to the aquatic life. Then apart from that, the wastewater discharged from houses, agricultural fields and industries contaminate with toxic chemicals. Also, consumption of this contaminated water may cause a number of waterborne diseases like cholera, dysentery. Moreover, consumption of water dissolved with mercury and other similar chemical compounds by animals and human beings result in numbness of limbs and lips and blurred vision. So it's very important that we make sure that the water that we are consuming is properly purified and is fit to drink. So how can we go ahead and prevent this water pollution? Water pollution, children, can be prevented by making sure the sources of the water pollution are reduced, and there can be different methods to prevent them. First of all, in the sources we have talked about industrial waste. Wastewater from the industry should be treated before being discharged into the nearby water body. Yes. Then the sewage in urban areas, runoff from houses, factories, institutes. First, this wastewater should be given treatment in specially designed sewage treatment plants, and then it should be allowed to enter the nearby river or stream. Also, fertilizers and pesticides. The use of the fertilizers and pesticides can control pollution of water body to some extent. Moreover, use of eco-friendly fertilizers and biodegradable pesticides can prevent water pollution. Apart from that, we as individuals need to make sure that waste food material, decaying vegetables and fruit, waste paper and plastics should not be thrown in open drains. So these are the things which can be done to prevent water pollution. Now children, how do we actually get water? Yes, we get water that is being purified in water treatment plants. So next topic that we have is purification of water in treatment plants. There are three main steps during the purification of water in treatment plants. That is sedimentation, filtration and disinfection. As we can see here in the screen, the first step includes sedimentation, where the water pumped from the source is allowed to stand for a few hours in large settling tanks. This results in settling of large suspended particles, mud and sand at the bottom of the tank. This process is called sedimentation. Small quantities of alum, in Hindi which is also called as fitkari, may be added to facilitate settlement of the suspended particles. Filtration. Sedimentation is followed by filtration. Water from the sedimentation tanks is filtered by passing it through filter bed. The filter bed consists of different layers made up of sand, gravels and charcoal. Now this water that has been filtered is free from insoluble impurities. The last step is disinfection. The filtered water is treated with chlorine gas here. Chlorine acts as a disinfectant and kills the germs present in the water. So the treated water is now safe for human consumption and is supplied to houses through pipelines. Next, do you all know how do we purify, or how does your mother purify water at home? If the water still looks a bit muddy or it does not look very clean, I'm sure you all would have seen your mother using some method to purify the water. It could be boiling and filtration, where the water is purified by boiling at around 100 degrees Celsius for at least 15 to 20 minutes, followed by filtration, which can also be done via ceramic candles which have fine pores that allow water to pass through them. Then there is also filtration, adsorption and disinfection method used at homes. The water purifiers used nowadays consist of these steps. In the first stage, water is filtered through a candle filter. In the second stage, the filtered water is passed through activated charcoal which adsorbs impurities. And in the third and final stage, the water is irradiated with ultraviolet radiation which kills the germs present in it. Now for disinfection, ozone is often used in place of chlorine, as the chlorine might leave an unacceptable taste in the water. Ozone kills the germs and also gets converted into oxygen, thus increasing the quantity of dissolved oxygen in water. Also, chemical treatment method is used, where water obtained from bore wells is purified by periodic addition of potassium permanganate or bleaching powder. Then I'm sure you all would have heard regarding the reverse osmosis. No, we haven't heard about reverse osmosis, but this term would have been heard at home. RO, हम सब RO का पानी पीते हैं घर पे. So what does RO stands for? RO stands for reverse osmosis, children, which is a method of water purification in which water is forced out of the waste through a semi-permeable membrane, which allows only selected materials or selected molecules to pass through it, and this is forced by applying pressure. A lot of impure water is left during the process which can be used for other activities. आपने अपने आरओ में देखा होगा एक ब्लू कलर का पाइप निकला रहता है जिससे कि जो वेस्ट वाटर है वो बाहर आता रहता है. That water can be stored and it can be used for watering your plants or for washing your clothes, without wasting the water. So children, this was about pollution of water, in which we have studied the sources of water pollution, effect of water pollution, how water pollution can be prevented, and at last we have studied how water is purified in water treatment plant as well as at homes. Yes, so please watch both the videos, read the textbook, and if you still have any doubt, we can discuss that in Zoom class or over the WhatsApp. So enjoy e-learning. Thank you.